Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Philosophy Culture. We are back, and I'm here as always with my podcast bro, Emils. What's up,
What's
man?
up? What's up? What's up? What's
I'm
up?
good.
What's up?
I'm good. I'm
What's
good.
up?
I'm good.
And I'm here as always with the big broadcasting.
What's up? What's up? Okay.
I heard that you're good, yeah.
Yeah. And today we will talk about LVMH, also known as Louis Vuitton Moet Hennesy. Pardon my French pronunciation. And we will also discuss some other stuff, such as what?
Such as the backstory of Bernard Arnault, Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennesy, and brand damage, human nature, stuff like that. Hey, check it out.
Check it out. Okay.
LVMH.
Exactly. Louis Vuitton Moet Hennesy.
Oui, exactement.
Exactement. Okay. And except Louis Vuitton Moet Hennesy, we also have Bernard Arnault,
Yeah.
as we are struggling to say his name. Good. But I guess we should start with the standard question, the general question.
Right. I
Good.
almost forgot.
Yeah. So why did we choose LVMH?
Well, it's I would almost say it's the world's biggest luxury company conglomerate,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so we have to be aware of it. I think, it's good to know about it, and because I didn't know that it was such a big thing, really, before you picked out this topic or this company that we should talk about. So it was something new for me this week, actually. So it's gonna be fun to talk about it.
Good.
What about you? What do you think
Nice.
this is important, since you already knew about LVMH?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know everything about it or like a lot about it, but I just knew it was a huge luxury brand, right? And I
Right.
just felt, like when we were picking the next topic, I just felt for Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, like you were really excited.
Yeah. No, but I think it's like really interesting, and I don't think there are so many luxury brands that are actually getting studied, or maybe they are, I don't know. But it feels like we haven't discussed so many luxury brands, right? I mean, we discussed Rolex,
Rolex, yeah.
but not like this. Uh, so yeah, I don't know, and I guess it also fits good as a sort of uh, something different among our episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
So
sure.
um,
All right. So
good.
shall we start from, I don't know, the beginning? Uh, yeah. I guess we should start with the history of Bernard Arnault, right?
Yeah, sure. And then I guess we could just briefly talk about the history, and then we could move on to like some general points, or like present, future ish.
For sure. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So as far as I know,
Yeah.
I've heard actually two versions of it, but one version is that his family, I think it was his dad in particular, who had like a build like a construction company, something like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think he had like a Bernard Arnault. Maybe I should say Mr. Arnault, because he's not like my friend. Uh, but he's like, yeah, I think he had like an engineering degree or something. He was an engineer.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, that's true for sure.
um,
And so, yeah, I've had like with the construction company when his family was doing uh stuff in construction. Arnault wanted to like move more into real estate, right?
Exactly. So I think
So
so I think
yeah,
he changed the emphasis, or like the focus of the business to real estate,
yeah,
and I think it was textiles, right?
textiles.
Yeah, like textiles, like like clothes and stuff.
You're already jumping into fashion?
Yeah, am I too fast? Okay, you can go ahead, maybe.
No,
Go.
like I was confused. Um,
No, yeah, okay, go ahead, go ahead. I mean, I could just jump in if you, yeah,
okay, like I'm not like 100% like
yeah,
sure either. Like, but my understanding is that so real estate.
mm,
He acquired like a lot. I would say a good amount of like real estate, like properties in France at
yeah,
first. And then I've also heard a version that he actually wanted to like expand his real estate like empire, or yeah, to the States,
hmm. Oh yeah,
since he like saw how fast you can like make lots amount a big amount a lot amount a big amount of money.
yeah,
Damn, now my English is off completely, but you understand what I mean.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, that you can make a lot of money in a short amount of time. That is what I
yeah,
meant. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think you can take it from here since you.
yeah. No, no, but I think it's good. Like, yeah, and after that, I think he like started to focus on textiles as well, like
do
on
you
fashion,
do you know
and
why, or how it came to be?
not necessarily, but I think as he was in the US, I think this was mentioned in the Business Breakdowns podcast, right?
Yeah,
He took a cab, and then he asked the like he got into a conversation with
the
the
driver. Yeah,
cab driver, yeah, and he asked him like, "Do you know who the French president is?" And he said like, "No, but I know about Dior."
exactly.
So that's
Christian
when he
Dior.
realized, yeah, that's when he, I guess, realized the power of brand,
Oh,
like a
brands. Yeah,
well-known brand, yeah.
exactly.
And I think it was also mentioned that his mom had a specific or like a special interest in fashion and
Yeah.
design and so on. So that's why I think he sort of later moved on to fashion and design.
Yeah. Right, right, right.
Um, and yeah, it was also mentioned, right, that he had like a sort of, or that he has a unique combo, that he has like a very good sort of engineering mindset and artistic mindset, right? And I think he was also,
Yeah.
I saw like a short video uh, of the former CEO of Dior, which said that he was always like talking with Bernard Arnault in the beginning because, or not in the beginning, but like as he joined the firm or
Right.
like the company, because he
Mm-hmm.
had like a very good sort of understanding for the business and the
For
sort of
fashion and
market. Yeah,
design and arts, or
yeah.
right.
So he was always like, yeah, they were all like collaborating very well and so on.
Nice.
Um, so yeah, that's how everything.
Kind of came to be. Kind of like yeah, like so because later on he ended up like being the what you call it, the majority
Holders, yeah,
shareholder,
yeah,
right? So kind of became the the boss
yeah,
in like at Dior, if I'm not mistaken, right?
yeah, exactly, yeah. Because at the time when he was like younger and before jumping in, or I think it was when that transition to fashion happened, then by that time Dior had some issues regarding the licenses, what I have understood.
Yeah, right, right,
Uh,
right. And actually, the whole business was kind of on a downwards trajectory. Yeah.
yeah, 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 exactly. and that's like that's how he like sort of got involved and bought back all the licenses and all the assets and so on, and
Exactly.
managed to put it back on track.
Yeah.
Yeah, he also started to like expand, right?
Yeah, like
And
I think one thing that needs to be said, kind of
mm,
as a basic understanding of Bernard Arnault, is that he is just really ambitious. I don't know really the motive for his ambition, but he's just I don't know. He wants to have as much as he possibly can.
yeah,
To me, from the outside, like as far as I've now heard and seen of him, he just seems like as a greedy person. Not necessarily like focusing on anything wholesome in a way.
yeah,
Maybe I'm wrong on that, but that's my like current kind of uh, impression I get from him. But maybe I'm wrong.
yeah. I mean, he has a very aggressive sort of expansion strategy, or like you know, yeah, he's very aggressive in um sort of buying new companies, or like companies with potential, and especially family businesses apparently.
Oof.
Um, but I don't know. I think that's one of the like due to his strategic thinking in sort of expanding and buying other, or like making like good investments in other companies and becoming like the main shareholder with Dior, for example. I think that's when Louis Vuitton and Moet Hennessy combine. Like,
Yeah,
remember that they merged because they
yeah.
wanted to
Because
build this defense against like competitors.
yep. Or a defense towards like someone taking over Louis Vuitton. That is what I heard.
Oh yeah, against external takeover. Yeah, that too.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it was exactly for like a defense for or from.
yeah.
Now I'm confused. Uh, I like a defense exactly for people like Bernal, right? Who wants to like
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, if you look at it from that perspective, yeah, it was kind of. But here's the thing, that they actually, they actually
yeah.
hired, or like they made Arnault join the business or the
Yeah,
board
exactly.
just to become a support for this defense.
Yeah,
And then he eventually managed to, uh,
that really backfired.
exactly, managed to take over the majority of the shares. Like, I think he's the
Yeah,
main shareholder. Yeah.
exactly.
Um. So yeah.
So damn. I think ruthless is a good word for describing him also. Since he I don't know, yeah, doesn't really see, yeah, seems to be that compassionate. Like he really like kind of embodies the person who would truly like look at business as a war, as like you have like heard like many times before how business is war. So he truly like embodies that person who treats business like actual war, who doesn't really is loyal to people
I think
as I see it at the
yeah,
moment.
yeah. And I come, yeah. I mean, if you look at it from that perspective, sure. But on the other hand, like, business is some kind of war against your competitors. Because I've heard from many like sort of entrepreneurs and so on that, having a business and owning a business and making it grow, and making it sort of stable, sometimes, like, you will get a lot of hate from your competitors, and a lot of those big companies will try to, either like buy you up, or just um,
Yeah.
make you go bankrupt. So it is some kind of war, because yeah,
Yeah, it's I agree in a sense, but not
Yeah.
100%. Because
Yeah.
I believe in wholesome business what you call it. Now I lost the word, but like, yeah, just more I believe in a more wholesome business approach as well.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, of course.
as we have seen, like with the Patagonia, which we need to make an episode on, or like Vans, for example. Like the founders of those companies. Like, sure, you have to be smart, but I don't believe you have to be like just a borderline bad human being, you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Yeah. I guess there are different approaches you can take
for
to.
sure. And that's the beautiful thing about business, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Yeah. Um, good.
But yeah, so we have come as far as he has now. He's like in control of Louis Vuitton, right? And Louis Vuitton, Moet, and Hennessy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so where do you want to take it from here?
I mean, to me, it doesn't really matter. I could just go to every part, or like I
That
could have so
direction.
many destinations from here. If I say it that way. But I don't know. They were talking in the business breakdowns episode. They were
Yeah,
talking about this sort of. Uh, I mean, a lot of his children are sort of included in this company, and they are making it sort of a family business.
yeah,
And so they were
exactly.
always like, they talked a lot about this, like, how would you see the future when Arnault has just retired? You know, because everything seems to go, like they mentioned that all the CEOs are reporting directly to Arnault. And he's like in the control, and he's like, yeah,
Yeah,
he he makes a lot of decisions, and that's also what they were so
fascinated.
fascinated about, because it's sort
Hmm.
of a funny company structure, as it is centralized but at the same time decentralized,
Hmm.
in a way that every CEO is reporting directly towards Arnault, and he's like
Yeah,
in the middle of the whole thing. He's like the sort of,
the person who has the last say in a sense,
yeah,
right?
exactly. But
Hmm.
at the same time, all of the businesses are like just doing their thing and deciding for their own, or not deciding for their own, but they are like managing themselves to a certain degree.
Hmm.
So that's so yeah, that's what they said, that it's so funny
That's
somehow.
really interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really noteworthy for sure.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, like, how do you see the future of LVMH after Arnault has retired, considering his like children and
Well, my best guess at the moment would be that he would try to make sure that his children are the successors in, yeah, in yeah, kind of leading this conglomerate forward, right?
yeah,
Because all of his children, I think, uh, are like in pretty prestigious positions
yeah,
in like some of those companies, like that are under LM LVMH.
yes,
I always miss the abbreviation. I always mess it up. So yeah, that's what I think. Uh, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because
yeah,
I don't know if for me, like for sure, like I don't, I'm not that smart uh in the business sense yet, but if he is like among the richest people in the world, it's kind of hard to see how. And also, since he's like a really business smart person, it's kind of hard to see how he would mess it up.
yeah,
And I think he has his my assumption would be that he has his family's interests like as a priority. So yeah. What about you?
I mean, I think we are doing this podcast to get more knowledge about business and so on. So we are not
Yeah.
professionals yet, of course, since there is a infinite amount to learn about it.
For sure.
But regarding the whole topic we just discussed, it's interesting because he, in one of his interviews, he mentioned that, I don't care. Okay, he obviously cares, but I'm not looking for like the future 6 months, like the coming 6 months, but I'm just looking like 10 or 20 years forward.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he's
exactly.
like into a long long-term strategy,
For
long-term
sure. Yeah.
success, which is really interesting, and I think it's like a smart way to go. It seems, at least based on his results and so on. But it will be interesting to see after he has retired, who will take over and how all these companies will be managed or will continuously be managed, because I've heard that there is a lot of tension sometimes.
Mhm.
So yeah, but I certainly think it will stay within the family.
Mhm.
I think his oldest daughter, or like his oldest child, which is a daughter, um, she has a very high position, like vice CEO or something.
Right.
Um,
Mhm.
so she's like right next to him, so to say.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think she may be the next, um,
Just successor or
yeah, exactly, yeah. And that's the interesting thing, because in one of the videos they were like, they asked the question, will the next um richest person in the world be a woman?
Right.
I guess we will live and see.
Yeah, we have a contender.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, actually, there have been really wealthy women before as well. Because like if we look at like Coco Chanel or Estee
Yeah.
Lauder, hmm, it's something to look into, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least like during their lifetimes.
Yeah, of course. Well, coming episodes about Coco Chanel.
All of that. All of
Yeah.
that. um,
Good.
good. Yeah.
And do you have any points that just come up to your mind?
I kind of want to bring two things up, but I don't know. Yeah, they will not like uh they will not be said in a like smooth way. Like a there isn't like a smooth segue.
Go
Uh,
brutal then.
so we will just go rough.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's regarding like some criticisms of L LVMH. There we go. And like it's like about like the labor practices
Mm.
and stuff like that is like yeah, it's like I think how we hear about like bad or like these fashion companies who have like these bad labor practices. I think yeah, like I said, I don't have the most positive view of Bernard Arnault or like a lot of these companies that he has acquired. I don't have like the best like yeah impression of them. And I kind of want to say that to me it looks like and yeah, to see what you think, because to me it looks like this is like kind of the pinnacle or pinnacle. the typical like fashion company who is just after profit.
Hmm.
I don't
Okay.
know. I just wanted to like say that. I don't know why, but I had that on my mind.
All right. But when you talk about labor and so on, do you mean like child labor or just un like
In like regarding wages, I haven't heard anything about child labor, but like I have heard about like how they what you call it,
unfair salary? Oh.
exploit like um nature, like
Mm.
you know, also regarding like crocodile skins and stuff like that, and like yeah, it's not that it just seems to me that it's only fair to kind of call out, yeah, this typical greedy way of doing business in a way, because to me it's kind of at the moment looks like it's pretty obvious, so I just want to bring it up since to me it's kind of what you call it, it is a important point at least.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like I don't have so many specific comments about exactly that. Um, but I do think that such a big company as Louis Vuitton, LVMH should have some kind of social responsibility, right?
Yeah,
Um, and especially when it comes to salaries, treating their employees, and you know, yeah, just being a sort of a good, what do you call it? What would you call it? A good company in the society.
good sport.
Good good sport.
No, but
Uh,
that's like a do you know the saying, or like
no.
when somebody is a good sport, they're just, you know, it's more um aimed towards like you know, sports like football or whatever, like if a person is a good sport, he's like just playing fair, or just you know, isn't dirty.
Yeah, I see. I see. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, but yeah, exactly. So just being a good company and being responsible for the actions and results and so on.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I think that will be shown in the future, to be honest. No
uh
comment.
what did you say, it will
I
be
think it will be shown in the future. Like if you
like
treat
what?
if you take responsibility of the society and you treat your employees right and so on,
Yeah,
it will be seen in the future in the sense that you will be you will attract more and more employees, and you will just become an attractive employer.
right, but
Um,
isn't that kind of uh since I mean attractive employer.
I mean, it could just be for the name as well. Having Louis Vuitton Moet Hennesy on your CV looks good, I guess, especially if you have some, I don't know what position, that sounds good as well.
No, to me that doesn't really seem doesn't sound really what you call it, like uh, legit in a sense, since most of the manufacturing takes place like in Asia and stuff. So and people there are kind of forced to take whatever jobs they have to take. So it's maybe more applicable in Europe, or like, you know, these developed countries, maybe France.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, I was thinking about Europe,
But if it
but
yeah, yeah, it makes sense though. It makes sense. Yeah. You mean that like time is the best filter. Like
yeah, yeah, exactly. And then in Asia, I think sooner or later it will be proven, and I think it was also, for example, H&M that had this sort of. I think they discovered that they are using child labor or
yeah, yeah,
unfair
yeah.
salaries or something,
Yeah.
which
It's
kind
it's
of
a lot of companies.
yeah, which kind of hit them bad, even though they managed to survive it. I mean, it's such a huge company that as well, but it's still, it's kind of damaging your reputation.
For sure, yeah.
So yeah, I guess it will just be shown.
But yeah, sorry for cutting you off.
No, go ahead. So yeah,
All
time will
right.
tell.
Huh?
Time will tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
But it's interesting with these companies. Like, now I'm gonna go into H&M, but like, it's interesting. Like, even if they have this really bad thing on their record, like as a child labor, they have like they have a business that is so useful for the everyday person, right? They produce really affordable clothing,
yeah.
and they are really kind of one of the main actors in this thing we call the fast fashion, right? So it doesn't really affect them in the end of the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah. One thing I want to bring up, when we listened to the episode about Rolex, during that business breakdown episode, um, I don't know if it was the interviewee or the other guy who said that the more you learn about Rolex, the more you like the company, since they seem so like nice and stuff. For me, this is the first instance where the opposite has happened. Like when I now have learned more about Louis Vuitton, I just kind of, it's like, yeah, it's a luxury brand for sure, but like it's nothing I resonate with, and I don't really regard Louis Vuitton in is such a bright light, so to say, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So that's yeah, it's a thing I have gotten this week from yeah, just looking into this company. It's interesting.
Yeah. I'm talking about making, how like some companies could survive. I think this makes a very good transaction to another point that I had. And I think
Perfect.
we earlier discussed, before starting this podcast, but it was just about that. Yeah, we were talking about revenues and so on. And then we start talking about revenge buying or revenge purchasing, sort of a psychological phenomenon ish, which is basically that after a stressful period or a period of hold, the consumers just goes out and buy whatever thing they very much desire, and that's one of the explications to why the luxury brands went, or like, yeah, made so much profits and revenue during the pandemic as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah. Any thoughts about that? I was just trying to connect it with how such a big firm with a lot of power and so on could damage the reputation in some cases and still be able to survive.
Yeah, well,
to relate it to revenge purchasing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do you have any?
So first of all, I kind of see your point, being more connected to the H&M company. But for sure, like I think it all comes back to human nature, since it's such a core what you call it, core subject to know, to be knowledgeable in, to make sure a business is profitable. right?
Yeah.
Since I think that's one of the essential things that people like study and take advantage of. Like if we look at that advertising or whatever, like we search for like I don't know, weaknesses or insecurities or people or things that people are, you know, afraid of,
Yeah.
that will translate into sales and stuff. So uh yeah, that is what I think of. But yeah, this concept of revenge buying was something new to me, and it sounds really stupid.
Yeah, honestly said, yeah.
Because it's mind-boggling if it is one of the main reasons why these luxury brands grew during the pandemic, where everything like was pretty much shut down and stuff. People were laid off of work and like I don't know. It's just kind of like a prime example of people not being able to think for themselves.
Mm. I think another point would be people not being able to control their desires.
Yeah, being impulsive. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, and I would have like a follow-up question to that,
for sure.
because now we kind of related it to H&M more, but what do you think, or how do you think LVMH would react to sort of that of brand damage?
Like
Um,
what?
like for example, I don't know, let's say that they are exploiting their workers and not paying them fair wages, or um, you know, they are
Well,
not sort of.
well, I think it's well documented. I think it's proven
Mm,
that is the case. At least I haven't like really
dived into it.
dived into the whole topic that deep, but it seems trustworthy, since you have heard about like the fashion industry being pretty cruel.
Mm,
So it wouldn't it would surprise me if that wasn't the case,
mm,
if I put it that way. So I'm pretty naive towards that narrative. But I think again, human nature, like people, you know, I don't know what the psychological term was, but like basically is when people don't want to hear things that they don't want to believe in
mm, yeah.
or like associate with. They don't want to hear the bad news or like the stuff that will kind of destroy their beliefs. Since let's be honest, like this is such a prestigious brand, like among so many people, and yeah, we see it put on a such a pedestal in pop culture. We see famous artists buying, you know, Louis Vuitton, rapping about it, singing about it, or like it's so so. Of course, people are influenced by that. So just kind of it's easy to just disregard the bad the bad stuff if it doesn't impact them, right?
Yeah, I see.
So that is kind of where my thoughts go initially. What about you?
No, I kind of agree with you. Um, I think that, to conclude your point, so you base it just shortly.
Yeah,
Um, so it is basically, you basically said that because of Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy's brand power and recognition, the people won't accept that they may get a bad reputation from others as long as they are not impacted by it.
Wait, who?
The ones like the customers.
Well, yeah, basically, since
Yeah.
for for decades, Louis Vuitton has like been this staple of status and success.
Yeah.
So it's appealing to people, and I think that really helps big brands like LVMH to kind of get away with bad stuff.
Yeah.
With my hypothesis be.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think sort of in a similar way, to be honest. And I think that the damage that the company has to make in order to become like, or like to be put in a really, really bad situation must be something like enormous, or affecting like millions of people or animals, or like doing something really, really bad.
Yeah,
Sort of convincing their customers, or like them, at least the majority of their customers, that what you're buying, like, or like when you're buying from this company, you're actually supporting whatever they may have done, or if they do.
yeah, but it's interesting, you know what? Because like I just thought of this thing, like it has to be so major.
Mm.
It has to be something so significant, because I think like the small stuff that happens are small stuff, but like the bad stuff that happens, let's say in Asia,
Yeah.
people in Europe or like more developed countries, we don't see that, since it isn't really like relevant to where we live.
Yeah.
And also it isn't seen like us. I kind of learned this thing, or remembered. Yeah, I would say learned. I think it's true, that people believe what they see. So it's like now I'm aiming more towards media. So what we see, we seem to agree with, since it's published, it's on the news, it's written in articles and stuff. And if we look at like companies that LVMH owns,
Yeah.
they also own multiple like media outlets as
Yeah.
well. Even though I saw in this video that was covering like LVMH, that those companies aren't really profitable. But you know how it works. Like it's a cover or a cover up, like to protect LVMH image, in my opinion, since because like what would, like, why would they like otherwise like own I saw this one picture of companies. They was like this good kind of separation of companies, like in certain like areas. So we have like Le Parisien. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, or like Le Echo. I think that's and Investir. Like those are apparently like some media publications or outlets, right? That are under their ownership or name. So that's a interesting thing to look at, and maybe some sort of thing to consider when talking about how they are, like, protecting their image. And also another idea that I had is I guess they have also other people who are shareholders in their companies, right? And I don't think it would be in their best interests either to, hear bad stuff about LVMH
Exactly.
practices. So it's yeah.
I think that's interesting, and I think that's a good point. And I think another way to how maybe not to manipulate, but to have a certain impact on your customers or like their beliefs and to strengthen their relation to you could be the newsletter, which maybe not so many are reading, but like when you become a sort of, I don't know if they have this sort of membership sort of promotions or whatever they now may have.
What do you mean?
No, I mean, Tiffany, I think Sephora might have like a membership thing. And when you sign up, you get some discounts. And, they
Right.
send you a lot of like emails with promotions and newsletters and stuff.
Right.
And I don't know how many people are reading those newsletters, but I think that could also be a sort of way and strategy of how to sort of connect to the customer and make them sort of become more more loyal to you.
Or yeah, feel more connected.
Yeah.
Right. I think what I've heard from some YouTubers who have like their businesses as well. I think the conversion rate on these email newsletters isn't too bad.
Okay.
And I think most companies have them by now.
Yeah.
If it so
yeah, and I've seen that they have actually LVMH has tried to get more social media presence, and they are now also trying to develop some kind of blockchain. I'm not sure about it. That's
thingy.
why I won't get into details, but some kind of like blockchain
project.
Good word.
Right.
So yeah.
And also like another thing I heard from a interview, I think it was like one of the people who also like were sitting pretty high up. It was like some sort of reportage of LVMH, and it was like a guy who was like also sitting pretty high up in the hierarchy.
Yeah.
Who said that LVMH is really good at, staying cool. To do the right things to still be considered cool, because that is the thing that brings in sales, right? Especially amongst like young people who aspire for success or whatever. So that is also the reason why, for example, Louis Vuitton have like collaborated with Supreme, who was a really relevant brand a few years ago. I don't think it is anymore, but it really had yeah, it was really hyped up a few years back. So I don't know what I wanted to say what I wanted to say with that, but I wanted to bring it up since I also see it as a interesting point.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. If I could conclude it, or like sort of connect it to the previous thing we said, by keeping cool, you just stay out of trouble, right? So you just, I mean, we're talking about brand damaging and so on, and you said that LVMH are just staying cool. Oh, you mean like staying cool in a sort of
yeah.
Yeah.
That is but
I think that's also a valid point, right? Because you're always coming with new things, new collaborations. You're always staying up to date, with the people and the customers. So yeah.
which also like works as some sort of cover up for, I don't know, the critics, right? Because
Yeah,
if they are in the cool thing,
yeah,
blah 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 blah, like, so because like let's jump into like Gucci, for example.
yeah.
Let's say you were the CEO of Gucci when and you had really like done some disgusting stuff to propel your business forward.
Yeah.
And now we have this random ass kid called Lil Pump making this song Gucci Gang.
Yeah.
Do you think
Yeah.
people would care? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. That's true.
So it works as a cover up.
Yeah. As we were always talking, as we were also talking about defense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was first thinking about staying cool as like staying out of trouble by just
Right.
having a chill sort of
Reputation ish.
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Um, yeah. Do you have another point? Or
Of
like
course I do. Of course. I
okay,
always have a new point.
go ahead.
Always have a new point. I want to. I don't know how I will connect this, but I would just jump in back into Gucci.
Yeah.
I really don't know how this makes sense, but I feel like this was interesting. Also, a fact that I learned about the like Bernard.
Arnault.
No, thank you. Uh, is that when he was trying to like buy up the majority like of the shares of Gucci. That was a really interesting story as well, because like the CEO of Gucci had to like fight his ass off, so to say, to make sure that didn't happen. And what he did was he like kind of diluted the shares. This
Mm.
I don't know exactly what it means. Yeah, I'm no stock or share expert, but I assume, or do you know? Do you like know what they meant by that?
I'm not sure.
No,
Dilute the shares.
now I kind of regret that I went into this.
No, no worries.
Oh, I look stupid.
Diluting the shareholding. The reduction in the percentage of existing shareholders' ownership in a company when it issues new shares of stock. So they are reducing their shares.
The amount,
Yeah, the amount of shares. So
right?
dilution refers to reductions in the percentage of existing shareholders' ownership in a company when it issues new shareholders of stock.
Ooh la la. There we go, folks.
Yeah.
We'll learn new stuff.
Does
Hey.
it make sense?
I think I understand it. Yeah,
Okay, good. Yeah.
since like the reduction of existing shares who are up for sale, right?
Mm.
Because I assume they can't really like take back shares that are already bought from other people. Am
No.
I right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how the rules were like 100 years ago, or when this happened. Uh, but yeah, it could be the case. Yeah.
Or how do you see it?
I mean, I've
Okay, we didn't understand it.
surely.
Not completely. Well, yeah. Either way. Yeah, it was one of those moments in time when Bernard Arnault didn't succeed to yeah
To acquire that
to
company.
Yeah, I wanted to say something more animated, like put his fangs around the
Oh yeah.
company or something like that. But whatever,
All right.
whatever.
I just have one last point
Yeah.
to not make this podcast for like 5 hours. Uh, but I was just thinking about, like, we got the information from the episode that the main sort of the the biggest part of the market was found in China.
Right.
So how do you think the markets will look like in the future for LVMH? Do you also think that the Chinese income will be as important as before? Um, like, that's a tricky question.
Yeah. Uh,
Just a basic.
I'm no psychic or like a person who can predict the future, but no. But like, shit, I have no idea.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see, like, to think of the kind of the socio politic, no, the
geopolitical situation.
geopolitical, yes, situation around the world,
Yeah,
to come up with somewhat decent answer.
yeah.
But
Because I think it was mentioned in the episode that 2/3 of the revenue came from the Chinese, or at least the Asian markets, right?
right, yeah,
And I don't exactly know from which year this was, but I think it was one, like, some years pre-pandemic.
right, yeah. Mm,
And yeah,
yeah, I have no idea. It's
no, I was just thinking, like, because the Chinese president has also claimed that he wants to make China more socialist and sort of more.
more
We have to cut this out.
more more socialist.
Yeah,
Isn't it like a maximum socialist?
I don't know.
At the moment, because I think like socialist is like communism, communism, no? Like
It
when
is. Yeah, it is. Well, China is communist,
yeah, so I don't think how they can. I
but
don't know how they can become more socialist.
I think they want to become even more sort of. I mean, they are not as. It's not a sort of.
It's not like such a dictatorship, is what you're saying, or
Yeah, it's not like North Korea, right? So they are still
so it
allowing.
wants, so they want to become more like South Korea or like North Korea.
I don't know if they want to become exactly like North Korea, but I think, according to one video, that they want to
Okay,
kind of um yeah,
right,
become more sort of strict
right.
in terms of business.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't. Yeah, it's interesting. It will be interesting to see. I'm more curious about how the future looks like in Europe,
Yeah,
but I have no thoughts or comments about it either. I'm just yeah, curious to learn more,
yeah,
and to come to some sort of some theories how
yeah.
things would look in the future. And that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have anything to add either.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you for listening to another episode of Philosophy Culture. We hope that you didn't get lost with the China talk and communism, socialism. But we still hope that you enjoyed this episode about Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennesy, that you got some nice insights and learned some stuff that will help you navigate life's spin.
Exactly. And please don't hesitate to write down in the comment section what you actually thought about this episode and maybe what we could improve. And also some fun facts if you own a Louis Vuitton bag, for example. We have no idea what to do with that information, but it would be fun to know, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, don't hesitate to subscribe to our channel to see our growth.
Yeah. To see each other grow.
true, and improve, and so on. So, until next time, adios.
Adios.
Welcome everyone to a brand new episode of Philosophy Culture. I'm here as usual with my podcast bro, Emils.
Yes. Good
How you
afternoon, good morning. And I'm here always with the big dude, Casti.
Hey, what's up, man?
I'm good.
Great. And today we'll talk about LVMH, Louis Vuitton Moet Hennesy. Sorry, my French pronunciation.
Excuse my French.
But except that, what else are we going to talk about?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the backstory of Bernard Arnault, right?
Bernard Arnault.
Fuck.
Bernard Arnault.
Men vad fan hette han då? Fucking bitch.
Fan vad kul alltså. Och du sa det så jävla bra också.